What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports. I'm back, you guys, with another video. This video, I'm here with my Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings Week 1 preview and prediction. I'm going to be previewing this matchup and giving my final prediction of who will win this game. Now, before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload NFL videos and college football videos daily. Now, the Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. So, both of these teams had very, very disappointing seasons. Neither one of these teams went to the playoffs last year. Atlanta, they missed the playoffs due to injuries, and I don't care what anybody says. Anytime that you lose 3 Pro Bowlers, you're going to have, your team isn't going to really be that good. I mean, they lost Keanu O'Neal, who missed some games. Deion Jones missed games. Devontae Freeman missed nearly the whole entire season. So the Atlanta Falcons missed the injury bug, and I think it's a kind of a good thing that the Atlanta Falcons missed the playoffs because the offensive line wasn't really that good. So since they missed the playoffs, they were able to get some very solid draft picks, and they were able to improve the offensive line. And I think now they have about 4 or 5 first rounders on our offensive line now. So this offensive line should be very solid. And this Minnesota Vikings team, they just missed the playoffs just because they underplayed to their expectations. I mean, I don't know how a team this talented ended up missing the playoffs. I mean, they have stars on top of stars on this team. I mean, they had Dalvin Cook, you got Adam Thielen, you got Stephon Diggs, you got Kirk Cousins, who is getting over $80+ million guaranteed. Then on the defensive side of the ball, you got Everson Griffin, you got Harrison Smith, and I mean, it's still hard to figure out why the Minnesota Vikings missed the playoffs. But a big reason why they missed the playoffs was because the offensive line was just not very good, and they didn't really have that much success running the football. And the big reason why I think the offensive line was pretty not that good was because the offensive line coach had died throughout the off season. God bless his soul. And anytime you lose your offensive line coach, especially in a situation like that, the offensive line is going to suffer. And so I think that's another reason why the Minnesota Vikings missed the playoffs was because they didn't really have that good offensive line play, and they weren't really able to run the football. And with Kirk Cousins, although he is a pretty solid quarterback who can win you a couple of games, you have the talent around him, he still is going to need a running game. You just can't go back there and say Kirk Cousins won the game for us. Although Kirk Cousins can do that for maybe a couple of games, he can do something like that, but it's not something that he can really do consistently. And we saw that last year, and we saw that against the New England Patriots. Kirk Cousins in that game versus New England, he wasn't really good. He really struggled in that game, and the Minnesota Vikings struggled to run the football. So now that their offensive line should be better than what it was last season, they're going to have success running the ball, specifically in this game. They want to be able to win this game. And then for the Atlanta Falcons, now you have Dirk Cutter as your offensive coordinator. Now this offense is going to be really explosive. I mean, I'm expecting this offense to be way better than what it has been in the past. Steve Sarkisian was the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons for the last couple of seasons. He ended up getting released, and now he's back at Alabama calling plays. And this Atlanta Falcons offense, although it wasn't terrible under Steve Sarkisian, it could have been a lot better considering the players that they had. And now this year, I think this Atlanta Falcons offense is probably going to end up being the best offense in the NFL. I mean, you got Julio Jones there. Although he struggled to find touchdowns for the first couple of weeks, you got him there. Then you have Calvin Ridley. So, I mean, you have a lot of talent there. You also have Austin Hooper, who went to the Pro Bowl last season. I didn't even know that he went to the Pro Bowl. He quietly had a Pro Bowl caliber season. Now, is he going to be able to replicate that? I don't know. And you're getting Devontae Freeman back. Devontae Freeman is one of the better running backs in the NFL. So you're getting a lot of talent returning there on the offensive side of the ball for the Atlanta Falcons. But the biggest thing is their defense. So their defense wasn't really that good last year. I mean, Dan Quinn absolutely cleaned house. And I mean, this is a big season for him. And this season is riding on Vic Beasley. I was talking to Atlanta Falcons insider over this summer. He said Vic Beasley could end up costing Dan Quinn his job if he does produce. And Vic Beasley, I don't know how true that is, but Vic Beasley is a guy who had 15 sacks, and he dipped, man. I mean, after that 15-sack season, he hasn't really had that same production. So Vic Beasley, the Atlanta Falcons have been trying to get a lot out of Vic Beasley this offseason. So I want to see if Vic Beasley is going to be able to make some plays in this game versus this Minnesota Vikings offensive line, which I think that he has the capability of doing. But the question is he going to be able to produce in this game and create some plays? And then the Atlanta Falcons defense, Falcons is now fully healthy. They lost a lot of guys to injuries last season. You lost Deion Jones, Ricardo Allen missed some games, Keanu O'Neal missed some games. So, I mean, they had a lot of good players that ended up missing games for this Atlanta Falcons defense. And now you get those guys fully healthy. So, I want to see what this defense does in this game now that it's fully healthy back from injury. Now, my keys to the game, what each of these teams is doing able to have a chance to win this game. The Atlanta Falcons, they have to get pressure on Kirk Cousins. And if they're able to get pressure on Kirk Cousins, I think they have a very solid chance of winning this game, getting Kirk Cousins down on the ground and things like that. So if they're able to get pressure on Kirk Cousins, they should have a very good chance of winning this game. They also have to be able to stop Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, the Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator, their new offensive coordinator, he wants to put more emphasis on running the football. He wants to get the Minnesota Vikings back to their original brand of football, power run. So Dalvin Cook is going to be able to see a lot of action, a lot of carries this season. And if the Atlanta Falcons want to win this game, they're going to have to be able to stop that run early and force the Minnesota Vikings to go through the air to win the game, which is something that Kirk Cousins has struggled to do over the last couple of years, is winning games strictly by himself when he has no running game and things like that. So the Atlanta Falcons, they have to be able to stop Dalvin Cook. If Dalvin Cook gets going, then I think that could pose some problems for this Atlanta Falcons defense. Then the last thing they need to do is, I think they need to get Devontae Freeman going. I think Devontae Freeman is a very underrated piece of this Atlanta Falcons offense, and when he has success, I think this is when this Atlanta Falcons offense is at best, is when you're able to have a balanced attack, when you're able to run the football, then you're able to open things up with play action, and that's something that Derek Carter wasn't really able to do that much during his time in Tampa, is have a lot of success on play action and run the football, because his rushing attacks haven't really been that great. So now if he's able to get Devontae Freeman going early, that's going to open the playbook open for some play action throws and things like that. When you have an explosive offense like this, play action could really cause a lot of damage to this Minnesota Vikings secondary, although it looks very good on paper. But play action could really help this Atlanta Falcons offense out a lot and help them score a lot more points than what they did last season on the offensive side of the ball. Then looking at the Minnesota Vikings, what they need to do is their offensive line has to win up front. They're going to have to be able to move this Atlanta Falcons defensive line backwards, and they're going to have to be able to give Kirk Cousins some time to drop back and throw. And they're also going to have to open some running lanes for Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook, for him to get going in this game, this offensive line is going to have to be better than what it was last season. So this offensive line is going to have to be able to create some holes. You're going to have Gary Jarrett there, who is one of the better defensive tackles in the NFL, just because he's very good at stopping the run, and he's also able to get after the pass as well. So Grady Jarrett, they're going to have to be able to defend him, be able to take him out the game, and they're going to have to move this Atlanta Falcons defensive line backwards. Then they're going to have to get the run game going. Like I said earlier, Minnesota wants to put more emphasis this season and running the football. They want to get back to that power running game and things like that. So if they want to win this game, they're going to have to do it with Dalvin Cook there, because we know Kirk Cousins isn't a guy who's going to be able to win you a lot of games. I mean, he can, but he can't do it consistently. So you're going to have to get him a running game. And if you're able to get that running game going, then you're going to be able to get the play action pass game going. Same thing I said about the Atlanta Falcons, man. So I think the play action pass game is going to be critical in a game like this. So the team that I'm going with to win this game, this is very tough. I like both teams to win this game. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I just think the Atlanta Falcons, or I just have a little bit more faith in the Atlanta Falcons offense than what I do in the Minnesota Vikings offense. I mean, both of these offenses can put up a lot of points, but I just trust Matt Ryan in a game like this. I mean, Kirk Cousins has a losing record. He's only won like 4 games against playoff teams and things like that. So I'm going to have faith in a guy like Matt Ryan. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins in a game like this. Although this game is at home for the Minnesota Vikings, I'm just going to lean with the Atlanta Falcons winning this game. My final score prediction, I think this game is going to be pretty moderate. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win this game. I'll say the Atlanta Falcons win this game 24-17. to 20. I think this game is going to be close, but I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to end up pulling away in this game, 24-20. Like I said, I just don't trust Kirk Cousins in a game like this. So this is it for my Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings prediction and preview. Let me know who you guys think is going to win down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.